I don't even think I've had one look at it cross-eyed yet. Oh. There we go. He ain't big, but he looked at it cross-eyed. So if I don't fall out of the boat with you. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, 8 Up Bass Fishing. Today's video is about breaking down Blue Cypress Lake in Indian River County. It is where our next tournament is for the Space Coast Bass Fanatics. I'm going to try and give you some valuable tips and information on the lake itself, how to kind of navigate it, what it's all about, what you can expect to see when you get there. Check it out to the end. Hope you enjoy it. Got a little bit of footage of catching a few fish. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, share it with your friends. Appreciate you guys. Here we go. Okay, so this is going to be the map breakdown of Blue Cypress Lake. Blue Cypress Lake located in Indian River County. It is in the same location as other places such as the Stick Marsh, Headwaters Lake, Garcia, which I broke down in an earlier map. You cannot access any of these other lakes from Lake Blue Cypress. You can only get to Lake Blue Cypress off of Highway 60 down in here, up to the access road that takes you back to a small neighborhood and boat ramp. It's a fairly nice boat ramp. You actually have 2 ramps available to use here. And on the other side, there's lots of parking in the water basin for boats. One note I will make you for a first time go there is the ramp right here. You have this little point right across here that has a lot of broken concrete and rocks. So as you're backing your boat into the water, be careful around that point if you get too close to it, because it is very shallow in through here. You can do damage to your prop. From there, you head out through the little canal, and you're into the main lake, Blue Cypress. Blue Cypress is the beginning of the St. Johns River. This little tail right here, I'm zooming in on, is called the St. Johns River on all your nautical maps. This is the headwaters to the St. Johns River, coming in on the southeast corner of the lake. Up towards this northeast corner of the lake, the very clear-cut looking canal is actually a modified version of the St. Johns River, where it starts flowing out of Lake Blue Cypress to the north. You can see the edge of the Stick Marsh. You cannot access, again, any of these other lakes. It is blocked off with dikes. So that being said, it's a very natural formed, shallow lake all the way around. It is looped all the way around with cypress trees on all sides. Not much water flow through the lake, especially right now. If you do get some heavy rains, you can get a little bit of water flow coming out of down here, and especially going out of in here, flowing in. This point on both sides can get very good when the water is flowing. If it flows too much, sometimes they just won't bite either. They won't get out. The northern half of the lake, you can get right up to most of the cypress trees. You're fishing in the cypress trees, usually in 3 to 4 foot of water. There's scattered amounts of Kissimmee grass in little pockets around it, a few little lily pads as you're fishing through and going through it. But basically anywhere up in this end of the lake, you're concentrating on the cypress trees themselves and any little small pockets of grass. Down along this shore down here, you do have a couple little feeder creeks that do move into the area, and you have some larger beds of Kissimmee grass in this area, very visible, of course, when you're in the water going by, as well as down along here. There's quite a bit more Kissimmee grass lines that you can fish working through, and you'll find, again, as the water heats up, they'll try and move to the outer edges of the Kissimmee grass. Some will still find shelter in by the trees. There's just no deep water. You can get out 6-7 foot deep in the middle of the lake, but it again is no kind of cover out there. It's just straight bottom, so the bait fish have nowhere to hide, so they still tend to gravitate even though the water's warmer. Same thing up in here. You have some cypress trees that go well out into the water. In this area here, coming through here, again, you can sometimes get a little bit of water moving. You can fish the cypress trees. You can fish some edges of Kissimmee grass and so forth. Other areas that people concentrate on is up here in this North River. I know a lot of people like to run along here, and you've got a fairly deep cut throughout it with heavy vegetation on both sides. They'll run this like a typical river pattern for the St. John's, flipping and through the heavy cover and so forth on the edges, and working stuff like that through there in many places. Not a lot of bends or curves until you get way up in here. Then you get some little wide pockets and some bends and curves. Again, water control dikes can't get through. A little bit more of a wide open area. Some people will fish in there. So there's a lot of opportunity if you like to do that style of fishing in the river fishing. You can also take this canal coming back through here. Same thing, it's a lot of heavy vegetations on the sides, but again, it goes nowhere. Water, in my opinion, gets very dirty up in that section over in here, so never done very good. Maybe a couple small fish. Usually concentrate in the lake, and my plan is just to have a big rotation, just hit some of the spots I've caught fish at, work an area. If I'm not catching, move to the other, and just keep rotating around the lake. You can pretty much see completely across the lake and see boats moving and so forth, so you know when everyone else is going. It's just not that big of a lake, but very scenic, very beautiful with the big cypress trees lining it. Tons of ospreys down there. Almost a negative to a point with the ospreys, because as you start getting up into the tree line and fishing the cypress trees, they tend to squawk at you. It's not a lot of fun. They're loud. But other than that, it is a beautiful lake. Catch results for us have never been off the record charts, but as usual, someone always seems to bring in a good sized fish and get close to that 20-pound mark. So we're going to head out and see what we can do for some practice and see what kind of patterns we can put together and locate.
ain't big, but he looked at it cross-eyed. So if I don't fall out of the boat with you. Goddamn wave.